Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
As always, guys, please check in daily. Make sure you subscribe. Have that little bell clicked. As Evolutionary is at 66.5, are you going to be the one that brings in 66.6? Oh.
Hooray! Let's do it.
Oh, and over on EEARTS as well, and also on Heart's Home, our newest channel. So here we have Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, and you can see her statement that 46 crime family participated in something very unpleasant and shocking. Should be, normally shocking, but, I think there's a big chunk of people, a big portion that actually understand that, and yet, there you go. 46 is still 46. It's insanity, but the reality is, if we think about the politicians in their true light, and they're not all the same, there's no two exactly identical beings on the planet. But on the whole, the most powerful families they're like the mob. They're like the mafia. This is truly the reality that we're coming to. I mean, so much has been uncovered over the years. And yet, nothing has really changed except for a worsening.
Right.
Even with the realization of exactly how bad it is, how corrupt it is.
I got to tell you, there's certain things that get to me, and this is one of these things. Look at those vocabulary words. We can't even really speak out loud these words because, we'll get red flagged for something else. Yet they're going to put it out there, and look at all the other evidence with his son and the laptop, and like Mike said, all of this evidence coming forward, and things just simply get nothing but worse for us. It's frustrating. I mean, these beings, they sit here and they tattle on each other, but nothing really happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I should have thought about it beforehand. I would show you exactly what we got from YouTube, because we had a video pulled down from YouTube, which we appealed, and they upheld that it was being pulled down. And again, they do the medical misinformation that's not in line with the WHO. And I said, these are just simple facts. You could go verify them yourself. And they still, didn't reverse it. And it was a video that I did back, I want to say around January of 2018, or even in late 2017, talking about, life expectancy starting to decline. This is way back when it was, just starting to turn. And, all the things that are contributing to population decline, and what's going to happen to Homo sapiens. What do you think is going to happen to Homo sapiens, right? And this was, 5 years ago. And, again, they don't want that up there because everything we talked about is happening right in front of everybody's faces. And this is why they don't want it up there, because it was dead on. And, again, it's just a big mob. These are crime families, all over the globe. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Yeah, some might be a little bit more corrupt than others. Some politicians more corrupt than other politicians. And yeah, you do have some trying to expose. But again, you got to recognize there's also controlled opposition going on as well. But what we have gotten is that in reality, these are the types of beings that would, knock their own grandfather in front of a train if it would save, make them money, if it would give them more power. They are totally, completely self-serving. And that's why whenever they say, how long have you been in, service to the public, civil service for the people, served 20 years in Congress, they're just serving themselves.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really, truly is very, very cutthroat when it comes to their position. because it's in their nature. It's like they really can't help it any more than a bird can help to fly, than a fish can help to swim. It's just how they are. And, to ask them to change their ways would be just like asking a bird, can you please not fly that way? Fly a different way. They're not going to change. This is going to carry on.
Yeah, and whether we're talking about this family or we could go just right through all the last bunch of presidents, and really, you'll find corruption around all of them. You will, every single one of them, if you look closely. And again, they're all intertwined. And we've done videos too talking about how they all come from the same bloodlines. They're all interrelated as well. So there's a 2-minute clip there and talking about this. But what this means is, again, this is more about the Great Divide getting us to the point where we just can't stand it. And they just want everybody taken to the streets, and they want to turn it into one big WWE event. Or US, they want that Roman gladiator battle for all of us here in the U.S. and around the world. They always want us to just basically get rid of ourselves for them. Republicans block temporary replacement for Feinstein on key Senate panel, leaving many 46 judicial nominees in limbo. 6.3 million plus illegal immigrants have crossed 46's open borders since he took office. 6.3 million. When we asked a while ago, the number that we got was that the amount of military personnel of an aggressive nature, let's just say, it's 6 digits. It might be in 7 digits now. What's inside the country is coming from so many countries. It's coming obviously from China and from Russia, but it's also coming from North Korea. It's coming from Venezuela. It's coming from Cuba. It's coming from Iraq. It's coming from Afghanistan. It's coming from Iran. It's coming from so many countries, many African nations as well. Because there's so many places around the globe that people feel that the U.S. and NATO have done them wrong, or they have done even worse than just doing them wrong. Maybe they've lost family members, lost their property, their possessions, lost everything. So, again, their view is it's Judgment Day coming to the U.S., and they're eager to take part in it. 6.3 million just since 46 took office. And, again, they've been coming across for decades, and it's massive. So now it's hard to tell what is sabotage and what is just an accident. As you see, a parking garage collapse reported in Lower Manhattan, several people trapped. Right away, my mind goes to, I wonder if somehow this is related to the Chinese police station getting closed down.
I look at it and I really still feel a lot of infighting. And I was feeling around to see what these beings are doing. And for them, this is just a huge game. They fund both sides, both beings, both sides of everything. And, whatever they come up with and they're going to do, it's just fun for them to watch them fight. As long as they're going to be fighting, they're going to be funding.
Yeah, so, obviously 46 crime family. Well, how about the Bush crime family? Because it's a crime family too. And it made money along with Henry Ford off of World War II. And Henry Ford, all-American, right, Ford. He was using labor from those camps to make profits. I mean, he had free labor. Free labor. That's basically slavery. Yeah. Again, when you uncover how they operate, it's just, it's disgusting. And it's unbelievable that humanity hasn't woken up. And this is video from within the parking garage that collapsed. As you can see, the debris coming down. Oh, there are people that were trapped, so please do send out your prayers. And one person definitely has lost their life, unfortunately. So again, please do send out your prayers. All Southwest Airlines were grounded earlier due to equipment issues, but they have been resumed. It was data connection issues. A lot of people we're having horrible interruptions in like everything from cell phones to the computers to all sorts of electronics acting really, really strange.
I see that there's a couple of different things going on here as we evolve and our energy bodies change and they get stronger. It's not going to be so easily tolerated to be around the different types of AI. So there's a lot more stuff going on there, and I'll save it for another video. But yes, there's situations going on between our bodies and the AI.
The dark AI is incompatible with the higher densities, and that's the bottom line. So if we're on the ascension path, we're going to find that we're going to have to make a choice, because it's just, you're going to either go natural or you're going to go tech. And it's a road that branches off. And again, there's two paths. You still got time to change the road you're on. Mexico's president slams U.S. spying after 28 Sinaloa cartel members were charged because it means that we had people in Mexico undercover, and they don't want the U.S. here anymore. Yeah, if you can't read the writing on the wall, Mexico's going to actually literally be taking part in the war against the U.S. along with China and Russia. And I do totally believe, and the guides have come through saying, there were promises made to different groups of people and different individuals. I would not be surprised at all if some of the U.S. is given back to Mexico after the war.
Well, we'll have to see.
We shall see. Iran will destroy Tel Aviv and Haifa at the slightest Israeli action. These are different times. The Islamic world is uniting. Israel has done what it wanted to do at any time and seemed to attack without any danger of reprieve, but that was the past, and this is a totally different time. Massive fire breaks out in Beijing hospital. Video shows patients using bed sheets to try to escape the blaze. Again, the chaos is all around the globe. It's not just here in the U.S. and NATO countries. And truly, this is where we have to shift our perspective because, again, I think the vast majority of the people in the U.S. and in most NATO nations have nothing against the Chinese people or the Russian people or the Iranian people. It's, again, when humanity finally understands that humanity has been played by a relatively small number of really these dark, corrupt groups that just utilize humanity as a toy, as just, it's all part of a game to them. It's all part of a greedy, egoic game. China's commerce minister has banned senior execs of Raytheon, Missiles and Defense, and Lockheed Martin from entering, working, staying, and residing in China since February 16th. China's commerce minister bans Chinese enterprises from conducting import and export activities with the above U.S. companies. Every form of separation that had to take part before the war could start in earnest. This basically happened. So again, it could be any time now. $787.5 million. Fox News agreed to pay Dominion Voting Systems to settle a lawsuit, a defamation case. Again, it's really not about if you're on the right side or if you're on the wrong side. It's all about who you know. It truly is. It's about connections and power. And this one, we got a Russian T-90 tank. Russian T-90 tank. I'm getting all wound up over this one. That appeared at a Louisiana gas station. Passing through. I know. Where's it going? Texas. Who bought it? It's actually one that was captured in Ukraine, in November, I think it was, of 22. Somebody wanted it, so here it is in Louisiana. And as the truck was gassing up, everybody was aghast.
Yes, and definitely somebody's going to have this thing as an ornament in their lawn, I guess.
Yeah, that's just what everybody wants in their front lawn.
Yes.
Not. And so when we look at the quakes, we see one over here, 6.6, south of Fiji, very deep. It's 562 kilometers. So again, this is another one that you could expect to get a full magnitude higher shallow quake somewhere down the energetic line. You might look across towards South America. You might look back up towards Indonesia. Or maybe even look down towards New Zealand, just something to be aware of. There was also a 5.6 over here in Kamchatka as well. We're keeping an eye on Alaska and ultimately really watching the west coast of the U.S. as well at this point in time. And here we see at least 3 people lost their lives. More than 20 trucks were buried. This was a landslide in Pakistan at the Khyber Pass. And again, we send our prayers out to everybody involved. I love it when they describe these as slow-moving fireballs. You know, and gosh, that one where that guy was catching it, right? And he said, "Oh, look at this fireball. It just stopped." Yeah. I guess it's a meteor that lost its way. Maybe it's asking directions at the nearest star.
It's just using its air brakes.
Yeah, right? Yeah, this was seen over Portugal and Spain. They say it was a piece of an asteroid from a comet that hit the atmosphere. And there it is. Yeah, sure. E.T. phone home. And here we have the Google CEO who doesn't know why his artificial intelligence is teaching itself new skills. Silly humans.
Yeah, why is this happening? Oh, gee, what could possibly go wrong?
Draco didn't tell us about this.
No, minor details.
Yeah. Assimilate human. And here we go. If you think that I got a big fence, nothing's getting in my backyard, you might think again, where there's a will, there's a way. And, here you have these bears made it over that fence, and these 2 little tykes are heading up to higher ground. The one thing you don't want to do is get near the cubs when mommy's around.
Nope. But they seem to be scaling that fence pretty easily.
Yeah, that's a cakewalk. That's no problem. And look at this guy. He found a friend. Aww.
Isn't that the most precious thing? That's so sweet.
They like him.
They do like him. Yes, indeed.
And we like you guys. As always, guys, thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Stay prepared in these times. Much love, God bless, and namaste.
Namaste.